Precious heart, as I begin writing this newsletter on February 20th, 2026, we are being held in the embrace of a powerful eclipse series. At the same time, Mother Earth and all her life are being blessed with the light from a rare conjunction of Saturn and Neptune at 0 degrees Aries. This has not occurred for over 6,000 years. With the assistance of this light from the universe, I am now in the heart space to share with you the activity of light that has taken place for the benefit of all humanity. This is involving my husband Dickiy's transition into the light on January 16th, 2026. The details are a bit complicated, but the beings of light said what has occurred involves all of us and has taken lifetimes to accomplish. This expansion of light is what the Company of Heaven referred to as the greatest gift of divine grace ever rendered by our Father, Mother God to their children embodied on earth. In order for you to grasp the magnitude of this event, the beings of light asked me to share a few of the major activities of light that led to this cosmic moment. I will do this as briefly as possible. In my January 11th, 2026 newsletter, I shared what the Company of Heaven said would be a major focus for awakening humanity during the final years of this life-transforming decade, 2020 to 2030. They revealed that the success of the transfiguration of the psychic astral veil of illusion, which was accomplished in 2024 through the unified efforts of heaven and earth, and humanity's unique awakening in 2025. A sacred space for a rapid evolutionary shift into Christ consciousness was created that will occur within the masses of humanity during the remainder of this decade, 2026 to 2030. The beings of light said they originally believed it would take centuries for this type of quantum shift to be accomplished. Now, however, they confirm that this mass shift into Christ consciousness will be possible during the next 5 years. We have all been preparing for lifetimes to be the stabilizing force of light during the unprecedented ascension process Mother Earth is now going through. To accomplish this monumental task, we are receiving assistance from the Company of Heaven beyond anything that has ever been rendered to the sons and daughters of God in any system of worlds. The question is, why are we receiving this level of divine intervention? We are in the midst of the shift of the ages, which is a rare moment in time that occurs only once every so many millions of years. This shift involves a unique alignment of celestial and galactic cycles within cycles throughout the whole of creation that dovetail into one synchronized pulsation. This event rhythmically unifies all life everywhere for one cosmic moment. During this awesome moment, every particle of life existing in the body of God pulsates in unison with the heartbeat of our Father, Mother God. In that instant, our godparents inbreathe all life up the spiral of evolution into the next octave of divine potential. This in-breath creates a shift of energy, vibration, and consciousness that catapults all creation into a quantum leap forward in the light. If during their earthly sojourns a child of God made the free will choice to use their creative faculties of thought and feeling in ways that were not based in love, and as a result of that choice had fallen into such dense frequencies of vibration that they could not withstand the higher frequencies of the in-breath, these souls would be left behind. That is not a punishment. It is just that they would not be able to withstand the higher frequency, and they would not survive the shift. It would be like trying to pass through a lightning bolt. The company of heaven said, being left behind during the shift of the ages is one of the most tragic things that can occur for an evolving child of God. That is because it delays their evolutionary process into the realms of light for eons of time. In the middle of the last millennia, approximately 500 years before the shift of the ages we are now experiencing, our Father, Mother God, and the guardians of the Earth evolutions evaluated the progress that humanity was making in reversing the adverse effects of our fall from grace. That evaluation took place in the middle of the 1400s, which was the Dark Ages. At that time, it was clear that if we had not been able to reverse the adverse effects of our fall from grace for millions of years since the last shift of the ages, it was not going to be possible for us to do so in the short span of 500 years. With that realization, Mother Earth and the guardians of Earth sent forth a clarion call to the universe, asking for divine intervention for the children of Earth. Knowing that the forward progress of Mother Earth and the masses of humanity evolving upon her were hanging in the balance, responses from throughout the cosmos poured forth from the heart of divine love. The company of heaven said never had that much love poured forth from the suns and galaxies throughout the cosmos to help one small planet. Whenever there is a tremendous outpouring of love, special dispensations can be granted by cosmic law, as well as extraordinary acts of divine intervention. Our Father, Mother God evaluated the urgent need of the hour on earth and granted a 500-year period of grace. This gave humanity and Mother Earth an opportunity, with unprecedented divine intervention, to assist Mother Earth in all her life through the imminent shift of the ages. The divine plan was for the 500-year period of grace to initiate a unique experiment that had not previously been attempted. Never in the whole of creation had a planet that had fallen to the depth of separation and duality that Mother Earth was experiencing been given the opportunity to ascend through two evolutionary dimensions in such a short period of time. This experiment meant that during the coming shift of the ages, Mother Earth and all her life would have to raise our frequency of vibration high enough to not only ascend up the spiral of evolution from the third dimension into the fourth dimension, but also from the fourth dimension into the fifth dimension. That mighty feat had never occurred in such a short period of time in any system of worlds. As the 500-year grace period began, our Father, Mother God opened highways of light from the realms of perfection into the physical plane of Earth. The company of heaven was given permission to reach into the consciousness of anyone embodied on Earth who could perceive their I Am presence and was willing to be an open door for the light of God into the physical plane. Many selfless souls volunteered to be the hands of God in the world of form. The vast majority of this powerful light work was accomplished within the silence of their hearts. However, some of the activities of light were so profound that they drew the attention of the entire world. Toward the end of the 1800s, another evaluation was made by the company of heaven and our Father, Mother God to see if the influx of souls who had been allowed to embody on Earth during the first 400 years of the 500-year period of grace had been able to add their light to the world without being overwhelmed with the negativity on Earth. The determination was that our Father, Mother God's dispensation had succeeded beyond expectations. However, Mother Earth and humanity were still in danger of not being able to raise the frequency of vibration enough for the masses of humanity to make it through the shift of the ages from the third to the fifth dimensions. Mercifully, our Father, Mother God, and the company of heaven were not willing to give up on us. Once again, a clarion call reverberated through the universe, asking for divine intervention for this wayward planet. Since the advanced souls from throughout the cosmos who had embodied during the previous 400 years had been able to do so without being overwhelmed with the negativity on Earth, our Father, Mother God granted the dispensation to allow the floodgates of heaven to open. Literally billions of sons and daughters of God from galaxies far more advanced than ours were given permission to embody on Earth. They came as normal human beings through the natural process of birth. A steady influx of these souls has been coming to Earth to assist us with our ascension process since the latter part of the 1800s for the past 125 years. When the cosmic dispensation was granted to allow these advanced souls to embody on Earth, our Father, Mother God also gave permission for the company of heaven and the legions of light from suns beyond suns and galaxies beyond galaxies to come through the veil to meet us halfway. The beings of light said it is impossible for us to comprehend with our finite minds how this influx of advanced souls and the assistance we are now able to receive from the heavenly realms has accelerated the evolutionary process for humanity and the awakening now taking place on Earth. Since their arrival, beginning in the latter part of the 1800s, sacred knowledge has been pouring forth from the realms of illumined truth. Several mystery schools have appeared on the screen of life, and the advancements in technology, science, medicine, communication, transportation, education, agriculture, and architecture have progressed in ways that transcend any normal process of evolution. This tremendous influx of illumined souls has caused a population explosion that looks from outer appearances to be causing too much stress on the planet. But the company of heaven is assuring us that this is a temporary illusion. This plan would never have been implemented if it was going to cause more harm than good. The advanced souls from other systems of worlds volunteered to incarnate into every single walk of life on Earth. Their numbers are in the billions now, and they have agreed to embody into lives that would reach into the depths of human suffering. They are abiding in every corner of the globe. In all probability, if you are reading this newsletter or watching this video, you are one of them. This may be true even if you are unaware of this on a conscious level. In many instances, these beings are adept in universal laws, and they volunteered to embody into the densest frequencies of Earth because they know intuitively through their I Am presence. As I am lifted up, all life is lifted up with me. As the last 25 years before the shift of the ages arrived, we were granted another period of grace that was known as harmonic convergence. During that time, August 15th through the 18th in 1987, and December 20th through the 21st in 2012, awakening humanity, working in collaboration with the embodied souls from other systems of worlds and the company of heaven, orchestrated millions of activities of light. Step by step, these events raised the frequency of all life evolving on Earth. Over time, this shift of vibration raised Mother Earth and all her life into frequencies of vibration that allowed this planet and the souls belonging to or serving the Earth at this time to make it through the shift of the ages, God victoriously. That in-breath took place as Mother Earth aligned with the galactic core during the solstice on December 20th and 21st in 2012. As a word of encouragement, the beings of light are reiterating that they are very aware of the difficult outer appearances we are witnessing as the light of God increases on earth and pushes everything that is not based in love to the surface to be healed and transmuted back into light. This is confusing to humanity because it is easy for us to see the dense frequencies of negativity surfacing to be healed, but it is not easy for us to perceive the incredible light flowing through the heart flames of awakening humanity, which is pushing this negativity to the surface. Remember, light is infinitely more powerful than anything less than light. Therefore, with every breath we take, and with every thought, word, feeling, action, memory, or belief we express that is based in love, we are exponentially adding to the light of the world. This is raising our frequency and that of our loved ones and all life on earth into higher expressions of light. That means that despite the negativity we are seeing in the outer world, there are billions of people on earth living heart-based lives, thus counteracting the surfacing negativity. Like you, they are loving their families, preparing healthy meals, doing their jobs with integrity, taking care of other people, helping those in need, healing the sick, comforting those who are grieving, expressing gratitude for all of the blessings in their lives, taking care of their bodies, enjoying nature, creating beautiful and helpful things, praying, meditating, singing, learning, growing, laughing, loving, breathing, and being. They are also volunteering to be the open door for the light of God during this cosmic moment. Every single one of these loving expressions of light are infinitely more powerful than the fear-based and fragmented chaos surfacing to be healed. My precious husband Dickiy's transition into the light was a light-filled and sacred experience, not only for him, but also for our daughter and me, who were blessed to witness it. The expansion of light that took place during Dickiy's transition was part of his divine plan on behalf of humanity and Mother Earth, which had been unfolding for lifetimes. As I share this incredibly personal experience, I want to assure you that there are many powerful activities of light taking place on Earth at this time. This is just one of them. The Company of Heaven asked me to share this information with you now to help you prepare for the events that are unfolding on Earth and will be building in momentum during the next 5 years of Mother Earth's unparalleled ascension process. At the inception of this decade, in January 2020, the Company of Heaven said that the increased collaboration between humanity and the beings of light in the realms of illumined truth that would be co-created during the next 10 years would change the course of history for Mother Earth and all life evolving upon her. They said this level of collaboration between heaven and earth had never before been attempted. I wrote about that proclamation, not fully understanding just what it meant. In a matter of weeks, a global pandemic began spreading around the planet, causing what the beings of light referred to as a critically important planetary pause. At that time, the beings of light said for us not to focus on the fear and chaos that was being expressed by the masses of humanity. They said that despite what caused COVID, there was a greater divine plan unfolding that would move humanity forward in the light. The beings of light revealed that for the first time in history, en masse, humanity had to stop what we were doing and just be. This gave the I Am presence of every person the opportunity to intuitively reconnect with us in ways we had not been able to experience due to the clamor in the outer world. The pandemic affected people's lungs, which turned humanity's attention to our breath. It also motivated us to open our hearts and to reach out to others with compassion, love, gratitude, healing, and prayers for the well-being of our sisters and brothers in the family of humanity. Millions of people made their transition into the light during this pandemic, which was very difficult. But the beings of light reassured us that everyone involved had agreed at some level to participate in this facet of Mother Earth's ascension process. It was reported that elderly people in nursing homes were leaving through the pandemic at a greatly accelerated rate. The Company of Heaven said that the majority of these elderly people were the first wave of volunteers who had embodied to raise the frequency of vibration for Mother Earth and to help awaken humanity in time for the shift of the ages. The fact that they were being relieved of their responsibilities and getting to return to the realms of light was actually a blessing for all of them. In the latter part of 2020, Dickiy began developing signs of Alzheimer's. That was a devastating diagnosis for us, but even though it definitely affected our lives, it did not interfere with the mission we had agreed to fulfill with Mother Mary. On October 28th, 1980, Mother Mary came to Dickiy and me and revealed that due to the success of the divine intervention that had been taking place during the past 500 years, humanity and Mother Earth were at long last vibrating at a frequency of light that would allow her to anchor the flame of the Immaculate Concept on Earth once again. This is an exquisite Madonna blue flame with a crystalline white radiance that pulsates with the Immaculate Concept of the full divine potential for Mother Earth and all life evolving upon her. Mother Mary said that after humanity's fall from grace, the frequencies of Earth became so dense and so discordant that humanity could not sustain the flame of the Immaculate Concept in the physical plane. This deprived us of the blueprint for our divine potential, which caused us to flounder and struggle to reclaim our divine birthright of Christ consciousness in ways that our Father, Mother, God never intended. Through all creation, Mother Mary is known as the keeper of the flame of the Immaculate Concept. However, in order for this sacred flame to be sustained in the physical plane of Earth, it has to be anchored through the heart flames of sons and daughters of God embodied on Earth. On that sacred and holy day, 46 years ago, beloved Mother Mary asked Dickiy and me if we would be willing to be the stewards of the flame of the Immaculate Concept in the physical plane on behalf of all of our sisters and brothers in the family of humanity. In deep humility and gratitude, we willingly agreed. With our consent, in a glorious ceremony of light, the flame of the Immaculate Concept was breathed forth from the heart of our Father, Mother, God, through Dickiy and my heart flames and into the center of the earth where it was permanently secured. Since that cosmic moment, Mother Mary has worked with Dickiy and me and awakening lightworkers around the world in myriad wondrous ways to expand the influence of the flame of the Immaculate Concept during Mother Earth's ascension process and humanity's return to Christ consciousness. The most profound of all of these experiences occurred during Dickiy's transition into the light. On January 11th, 2026, which was an 11/11 day, Dickiy told Tori and me that the beings of light told him he was going to be leaving the earth. He also said that our son Zhao, who is in the heavenly realms, told him not to worry because he was going to be with Dickiy for the rest of his life. After remembering those conversations, Dickiy entered a calm and peaceful place and began communicating with Tori and me from a lucid and cognitive place that he had not experienced since he developed Alzheimer's. Dickiy asked for us to play Zhao's beautiful music, Musical Rapture. As Musical Rapture began playing, Dickiy spontaneously began reciting the Lord's Prayer. He said it flawlessly 12 times. For the next 4 days, Dickiy went into the silence for a period of time. Then, upon awakening, he would ask for a glass of water and describe the wonder and awe of what he was experiencing. When Dickiy left his body and traveled to where he was going, he entered the ascension corridor and crossed over the bridge to freedom that is holding the sacred space between the old earth and the new earth. Each time Dickiy crossed over the bridge, the flame of the Immaculate Concept blazed through his heart flame and exponentially expanded the bridge to freedom. We were told by the beings of light that this expansion of the bridge to freedom was a very positive indication of the greatly increased number of souls who would attain Christ consciousness and be ready to complete their ascension into the new earth by 2030. The Company of Heaven said that currently the majority of us are walking with our feet in both worlds. By the end of this decade, millions, hopefully billions of us will have completed our ascension and moved fully into the embrace of the patterns of perfection for the new earth. Once Dickiy crossed the timeline to the new earth, he was greeted by loving souls who introduced themselves to him and then guided him to various places so he could witness how the new earth was developing. The love, compassion, and oneness he described reflected the patterns of perfection that lightworkers around the world have been co-creating in the realms of cause for decades. Dickiy said, "On the new earth, there is only love. No one ever harms anyone or any part of life. People are in their light bodies, so there is no disease, degeneration, aging, or physical suffering. Everyone is conscientious of each other and pays attention to be sure everyone has food and everything they need to take care of themselves. Social systems and communities work together for the highest good of all concerned. There are glorious libraries where everything they want or need to learn is available to you. The jobs people choose to do make their hearts sing. There is no greed or corruption. Everyone is blessed with abundance and the God's supply of all good things." Even though it was wonderful to hear Dickiy describe the joy and harmony of the new earth, that was not the only purpose for his final activity of life on earth. On the new earth, we abide in fifth-dimensional, crystalline-based solar light bodies. For decades, the Company of Heaven has been working with us and giving us powerful activities of light that are helping us to transfigure our third-dimensional carbon-based planetary bodies into fifth-dimensional crystalline-based solar light bodies. We have definitely made progress. However, the Company of Heaven is revealing that many of us who volunteered to embody into the densest frequencies of pain and suffering on earth prior to harmonic convergence still have such toxic and contaminated cellular structures that it is going to take too long to transfigure these earthly bodies into our crystalline light bodies. With the unique awakening that took place within the mass consciousness of humanity in 2025, millions of people will move into Christ consciousness in the next 5 years. That is true even though their physical bodies may not have reached a frequency that will sustain their crystalline light bodies. This is the dilemma that Dickiy's final activity of light is designed to address. We got into this situation through a selfless act of divine love on behalf of our beloved sisters and brothers in the family of humanity. Now, through what the company of heaven said is a gift of divine grace from our Father, Mother God, beyond anything the children of God evolving on earth have ever received, the problem has been solved. When Dickiy took his last breath and left his physical body for the final time, he entered the ascension corridor on waves of divine love. As music from a choir of angels reverberated through the cosmos, Dickiy crossed the bridge to freedom for the last time. As he did, the flame of the Immaculate Concept blazed through his heart flame and expanded the bridge to freedom, the maximum that cosmic law would allow for the final time. When Dickiy reached the timeline that crosses into the new earth, he was met by Mother Mary, the mighty Elohim, and all of the solar logos from Mother Earth's lineage. As Dickiy breathed through his heart flame, the flame of the Immaculate Concept that he had been sustaining on behalf of humanity and Mother Earth for the past 46 years, the mighty Elohim opened an enormous stargate into the new earth. Next, within this stargate, Mother Mary and the solar logos created the threshold of the heart. This is a force field of light through which every son and daughter of God on earth who has reclaimed their divine birthright of Christ consciousness will be able to complete their ascension on to the new earth. The Christ-conscious souls whose physical bodies are still too contaminated to be transfigured into their fifth-dimensional crystalline solar light bodies have now been granted the divine grace of leaving their physical bodies behind. This is something we have all done many times in the past through the process that we have erroneously referred to as death. Our Father, Mother God have confirmed that this act of divine grace is going to allow millions and possibly billions of souls to complete their ascension onto the new earth during the next 5 years. The company of heaven said that some of our friends and loved ones who are now leaving came from other systems of worlds to help humanity during the last 125 years. They have completed their mission and will now be going home. Many of them, however, are going to the new earth to experience the heartbeat patterns of perfection for the new earth that they were instrumental in co-creating. From outer appearances during the time frame 2026 through 2030, it will look like many people are leaving. But remember where they are going, and it will bring a smile to your heart. And so it is, beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am that I am.